You know, at first I thought this was I don't know, maybe New York City, maybe Berkeley, California, but you know it's happening all over the country. Blue states, red states, Ohio, they just uncovered a plan in Columbus City schools to teach this kind of gender mess stuff. And we found this in the proposal. Transgender and non-binary students have a FERPA, never heard of FERPA, protected right to privacy. This includes privacy rights from parents and caregivers. This is part of an instruction program for staff created by a firm. It was uncovered by Alex Nestor. He's an investigative fellow for Parents Defending Education. We're welcome to you, Alex, and Nicole Neily, president and founder of Parents Defending Education. Welcome to you both. Alex, first to you. I just saw that thing. All right, how many people saw this? Do we have any idea? This was a instruction for teachers?
So this was an instruction for counselors actually in Columbus City schools last summer. And I don't want to take credit for this. This was a colleague of mine who uncovered these documents via a public records request. And as you mentioned, what we saw in this was absolutely horrifying, specifically the part where these consultants encouraged counselors to hide from parents if and when a child decides to use another name or pronouns at school.
Yes, let's go to full screen number 5, if you don't mind. This is right from the curriculum. Affirmed names should be used regardless of legal name. If students' caregiver are not supportive, I think their grammar is a little problem here. There should be a private place within the student's records to indicate name and pronouns. And that other thing, what is FERPA? Nikki, do you know anything about FERPA? I've heard of HIPAA, not FERPA.
FERPA is a federal education privacy act that the Department of Education has put in place, which is supposed to mean that, student social security numbers wouldn't be released during a public records request, for example. And so to manipulate this and flip this and say minor children have privacy from their parents is absurd. It is certainly not what the statute was intended for, and it's insulting that these consultants are giving false information to a school district and to counselors like this.
Look, you guys, everyone's looking at your group, and you were on Capitol Hill not too long ago. If you don't mind, Nikki, I'd like to play that. This is last March.
School boards seem to forget. Parents have a constitutional right to assemble, to speak, to petition their government for a redress of grievances. But sadly, the airing of these concerns is now viewed by elected officials as violent, offensive, or hateful, in many cases based solely upon the speaker's viewpoint. American families have many concerns about education which merit discussion and open debate. But there is no question that people have been chilled from speaking out against children's education. It is lamentable that American parents no longer trust their local school officials, but it is tragic that they now fear their federal government.
It is incredible. And the left, the far left, they're going to be even angrier at you about all this stuff. Are you getting a lot of opposition? Like, are they calling you a hater because, you're sticking up for children?
Absolutely. We were called a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which means that we're over the target. We are making people angry, and we're giving voice to the voiceless. So many people have come out of the woodwork over the past 2-3 years standing up for their children because they've realized that the traditional gatekeepers, be it the teachers' unions, the school boards association, or others, don't have children's best interests at heart. They care about their money and they care about their power, but they certainly do not care about our children or children's education.
Let's see here. D07, we have the Wheel of Power privilege. The Wheel of Power. I've heard of the Wheel of Fortune. This is the Wheel of Power. It's a little bit hard to see. Can you take us through it, Alex? What do we have here?
Yeah, so what you're looking at is basically a wheel. The innermost parts are, people who, by nature of their identity, whether it's citizenship status, your sex, your race, whether you identify as gay or transgender, you have privileges assigned to you based on these different identities. And as you can see, the wheel's very separated and divided up, and that's exactly what they want to do with kids, and in this case, counselors.
All right, and by the way, this training that you uncovered that's being offered to counselors. Let's see here. It has a cost, $20,000, D02, $20,000 plus travel expenses, including airfare, transportation, and hotel to undergo this training. And that is obviously taxpayer money that would be used to pay these bills, right, Alex?
Yeah, that's right. And look, it costs $22,000 to educate a pupil in Columbus City Schools every year. This was $24,000. So, you know, maybe this could have gone to something like, I don't know, maybe helping kids out, learning how to read or do math, or helping with, you know, other mental health issues without pushing this, you know, gender nonsense on kids.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, American kids en masse weren't exactly crushing it in terms of our testing and in terms of all that stuff compared to the rest of the world. Now we're throwing all this stuff in, which is a major waste of time. Nikki, if you don't mind briefly, what's the outlook right now? Sometimes I feel like we're losing this fight. They're getting angrier and louder on the left. But where do things stand right now, in your opinion?
We've identified over 1,000 school districts across America that have these kind of parental exclusion policies in place. And Parents Defending Education actually has a number of lawsuits in federal court across the country challenging these policies. We believe it's immoral. We believe it's unconstitutional. And we know that our parents' rights are going to be vindicated at the end of the day. So it may seem dark now, but we know in the end, families will prevail.
We love it. Defending Ed, Defending ED, you can think of it that way, or Defending Education, ed for short.org. Nicole Neily and Alex Nestor, thank you. Keep it up, and we'll be right back.